Hey friends, let's get ready. I'm going to do some prom makeup. Yay. And I just want to show you how I get ready. So if you have any questions, let me know. I started with a little bit of moisturizer. I'm going to put a tiny bit of foundation on my eyelids, kind of as a primer. I like to do my eyes first for a couple reasons. It gives a chance for my moisturizer to soak in, and also if I make a mistake or I make a mess, I can clean it up easier. All right, so I'm just going to do simple eyes today. I'm going to take a little bit of this Glamazing and put it right on my inner corner. I call this the wake up for my eyes. It just kind of instantly brightens everything. And then I will take just a light neutral, warm, kind of a warm neutral brown. And I'm doing my crease above my crease. I kind of bring it out a little bit right here. And this is called the windshield wiper method. So I'm really just going back and forth, but instead of coming down at a curve right here, I'm going out more straight. It's a bit more uplifting too. And with heavier eyelids, if you look straight into the mirror and get that color above your crease instead of just in your crease, it's going to be a lot more uplifting also. All right, let me just put a little bit of shimmer on my lids. I like to use my finger with my shimmer. And if you really want to give this a little extra pump, like to the shimmer, you can put a little bit of balm. Seint has a balm. You can use it on your lips. You can use it on your, you can use it as gloss. You can use it as like a high, like a sheen on your nose and your cheekbones, but you can also use it mixed with any powder to really create like a creamy, pumped up, intense version of whatever eyeshadow you have. So that's that. Let me take a little bit of my Vanilla Dust powder and just kind of lighten right here under my brow. I'll fill in my brows at the end, but there. Okay, and then maybe I'll just take a little bit of this same shimmer and use it as a little eyeliner on that bottom, maybe third. Okay, simple, very simple. All right, now that my moisturizer soaked in, I'm going to use a little bit of primer today. This is the Milk Hydro Grip. A great dupe for this is the e.l.f. It's also green, but it's something grip. Can't remember what it's called. But I'm bringing it with me to do the prom makeup, so that's why I'm using this one. Just kind of tap it on everywhere. And it's got some like tack to it, which will help the makeup stay better. All right, you don't have to let that soak in because it doesn't really soak in. It's almost a barrier, but this one is aloe vera based, so it's quite nice. It doesn't feel heavy. All right, let's start with foundation, and I'm going to do pretty simple today. I think I'm going to start with my contour here. I'm going to go around the outer edges. So think of an E or a number 3. Our contour does have coverage in it, so you don't have to like load a bunch of foundation on first and then use it. And I'm just going to blend as I go today. Sometimes I put all the lines on and then blend at the end. It really doesn't matter. It's very forgiving, and it's however you feel comfortable doing it. So just going to go around the edges. Make sure I go right here. I have just a couple of blemishes to cover, but I'll wait until the end for that. I don't see the point and covering things at the beginning because I'm going to probably move that coverage around, that makeup around. Okay, contour my nose, make it look a little thinner. And all right, now let's get to foundation. I'm kind of in between colors right now, so I'm just dabbing into both of those. I'm just going to tap this everywhere. It's really easy. And if you want more coverage in a certain spot, you just build up in that area. But let me blend this as we go. You notice I kind of go around where I already put the contour. There's no point in layering things. Okay, so that's pretty even. Now I'm going to take the smaller side of that brush that I started with, and I'm going to put a little bit of my brightening highlight down my nose, inner corner, and down the side of my nose, and outer corner and up. This is where I'm cleaning up if I got outside of the lines with my eyeshadow, plus it's super uplifting. You can do the same thing right here. And I actually like to put a little bit right under my contour because I'm lighter on my neck and it helps tie that in. Okay, so now I can blend, but I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer first. So let me just get this like on the high points of my face. And always right down here where we never see any sun. With more mature skin, you actually want to add a little bit of warmth like this. So even if you've never been a bronzer person, I definitely recommend it for mature skin because we tend to lose some of that warmth naturally. It's just how our melanin changes, and adding that back in actually creates that youthful appearance. So all right, let me get in that inner corner a little bit more. All right, now if you have darkness right here under your eyes, we're actually going to use our darker foundation color, and we're just going to tap the littlest bit right there. You can use your finger for this if you want to, but if you're going to use your finger, I always recommend using your ring finger because it has the lightest touch, so it's going to pull your skin the least amount possible. And especially around your eyes, you want to be conscious of that and start practicing that good habit every time you can. Anytime you're putting any sort of anything around your eyes, use your ring finger if you can. Okay. So really the only thing I have left to do is cover those blemishes and add a little blush. Let me show you this one with my finger. It's pretty sheer, so I'm going to put a little extra on. This is a semi-gloss. We have satin, gloss, and semi-gloss cheek colors. The satin are going to be the most pigmented and probably the best if you have oily skin. But you can set this with powder too. So if there's just a color that you love and you're like, I have oily skin, should I still get it? Get it. Just set it with powder. It'll be totally fine. There, just a nice natural flush. And then lastly, I'm going to cover my blemishes. So I'm going to use my darker foundation color because I want to cover darkness with the same darkness. So I've got something right there. This is like a scar that I'm constantly messing with. And then maybe I'll put a little bit right here where I'm really red. All right, I think that's about it. I'm going to set with a little bit of spray today and powder. So If you don't like the feeling of spraying that directly on your face, you can actually spray it on your dampened Perfector sponge. This one is not damp. It gets about double the size when it is. And then you can just tap it on your face too. So we're going to do that. I'm not even letting that dry all the way, but I am going to grab another brush and I'm going to put a little bit of powder on. So this is our vanilla dust powder. I'm just going to lightly tap into it, and I'm going to very lightly tap in these areas where I have the most movement. I'm going to just do this one side so you can see. It really creates a filtered finish. I like my my blush to look a little bit glossy, so I tend to go around that, but just compare the two sides here. And I'm going to zoom in too. It's a very subtle softness, but it really filters. So watch. And it's so finely milled that it doesn't get cakey or anything like that. And also, if you didn't know this, pressed powders are actually better than loose powders if you tend to be dry, because they have some sort of bonding agent in them already, which is usually a humectant or something that's more hydrating than just loose chalky powder. Now, if you're super oily, you might love a loose powder, but okay, there's that. I see one little blemish right here. Let me cover that. My allergies are just crazy today, so my nose is just going to be red, I guess. Do you see how I just tapped it right directly on the spot and not all around? I didn't need a whole bunch. I used the smallest brush. All right, folks. I think that's it. I'm done. And now I'm going to go fix my hair a little bit and get some girls ready for prom. So that'll be fun. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day.